Hello, my divas. Welcome back to part 2. Wouldn't you rather have one person that is into and devoted to you versus many partners? Look, today, if you're married and you're being promiscuous with many, what happens when you bring it home and give it to your spouse? If it's AIDS or HEP, then that's going to spread to your kids, etc., through cups, forks, dishes. Now you've just sentenced your family to a slow, painful death because you wanted to sleep around. You need to find someone that matches your energy, that matches your vibe. Get to know them a while before jumping in the bed. If they're easy to lay with you, then they will be easy to lay with others. Disease is like a wildfire. It spreads and may be with you. You may get lucky. You may escape it. Maybe you get lucky the whole time until you grow old and die. But is it really worth it to gamble on your life and safety? Seems that we only have one life to live, and what we choose to do with that and how we choose and decide to live it at the end of the day is our choice. The choices that we make is up to us, and no one to blame but ourselves. Let me give you a scenario. Okay, if you meet this beautiful girl, sweet, funny, total package, but what if you find out she's working through some stuff, and maybe she has to wear underwear that are special? Could you imagine what's going through her mind? You know, to be somebody that, yes, we get old and these things happen, but to be somebody that is in their mid-30s, early 40s, self-conscious, not that old, feeling trapped with her own body and feels less than. What do you do? How do you react? It takes less energy to be a good man. Maybe something may feel uncomfortable for you, but just imagine how she feels. She can't help it. It's not her fault. If you're cruel and something bad happens, well, then that's on you, because you're the one, best believe, that has to be able to live with that. If something bad happens, do know that that is the same equivalent to murder. Because if you push somebody to something, or tell somebody to go do something, and they do it, not only will you have that charge, you'll also get what follows with that, and that is bullying somebody to an extended point that could cause harm or damage. So, the men are probably watching this and they're going, "Okay, let me fill you in, bitch." And I'm not talking about the men out there that are respectful and, we're not put here for your pleasure. We're not put here for your gain. We're not put here for you to pull power and control, to manipulate, to groom, to use to your benefit. We're people just like you. We have feelings and all of that stuff that follows just like you. And for you to think that you can take something or that you're entitled to something because you the man, or you think you hot shit, or whatever the case there is. No. You got the entitled part, right? Because you're entitled to the fullest. And this bro code, I get it, because we got girl code. Or queen code, is what I like to call it. Yeah, Courage Havens is queen code. But, there's a fine line with that. You know, I made one of the earlier videos when I said, oh, if you plan on getting into beef with somebody, oh, and come let me know, and then we'll discuss how it's going to be handled. You know, I had to make that video. Because we have a lot of people in this world, and a lot of people can go savage to protect the ones that they love and care about. And by me making that video, none of that is going to come back on me. Because, you know, they'll be like, hey, look, dude, this, and that. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, hold on. Let's see different situations that we can tackle or handle this. What are some things that we can, you know, that kind of sense. Because that shit ain't coming back on me and saying I'm part of HHE and, oh, I just did this. And, you know, it's going to come back on me because I run this shit. And it was like a safety net. But we were not put here to be your fuck toy or your personal vacuum or your housemaid or whatever. Women can work and do what the fuck they want without having a man that's trying to play daddy and play power and control. And you don't own that person. You never will. You never have. If you need to claim on ownership and possessions and trophies, you need a hobby that don't have nothing to do with women or children or men or, you know, I mean, like a real hobby. You definitely need to get out and do something with yourself. You can go play pool, you know, go play football, do something. Something, you know, make something of yourself instead of being a predator, because that's what you're grooming yourself to be by your actions and your words and things. And how this is a stylist, but the plastic part broke, so I took some fabric and just, you know, did some macrame shit up. But, you know, if you abuse and you want to go Rob Zombie, and I mean, even his childhood was pretty out there, so look at how he turned out. No pun into the person, but just mental health matters, basically, is what I'm saying. But if you, and you don't have to be all like, how to, you know, macking ideas, you know, what is that shit? You're gonna read by a book on how to hit on a girl or how to do this or how to do that. What happened to acting natural? What happened to acting like yourself? What happened to being who you are? Because at the end of the day, the person's gonna like who you are, not who you're perceiving yourself to be. Now, men are pegs, women are pegs. It's a dog-eat-dog world. But we're supposed to be learning from our mistakes We're supposed to be progressing. We're supposed to be moving forward, moving past all that bad juju, and we're supposed to be bettering ourselves and getting better at our life and everything thereof. And we're not getting better if we're still keeping ourselves in that dark place. You know, the things that, like, people might put on it is the people that abuse people and do the things I'm talking about and have mentioned. And there are people who have came from childhoods that were equivalent to mine, if you know, you know, or worse than mine. And that can traumatize a child permanently. And it can do something to the brain. And sometimes you can come back from it, and sometimes you cannot. In my case, I feel everything in me. I definitely can come back from it. Because for the most part, I've tried to keep myself in check. And so, but the better you treat somebody genuinely, you'd be surprised at the outcome. Because even with Manson, I mean, I didn't go deep, but I kind of surfaced, and it was just, you know, his family, and just, I don't, it's just everything thereof. I could see, like, I don't know, I guess I couldn't look past the cultist stuff. It's kind of hard to do because that kind of thing is scary. And nobody wants to, you know, ever see themselves in that limelight. Because everybody's like, I got a long life to live, you know. Or I'm not ready to go, or I'm never bowing down to another soul again, or, you know, because every situation is always different. And if you got this big hate, rage towards women, let it go. Because I'm not going to say I am minimizing what you went through. But not all women are like that. Not all men are like that. Yes, a lot of, but not, and probably more than should be. But it depends on who you surround yourself around. It depends on the energies and the personas and the body languages that you know, surround yourself around. You know, in the beginning of Courage Haven, when I know, but I had said that, just for context, that how you live your life is up to you. And like I said in this video, like, how you decide to live that, you know, is on you. Now, for the people that I've mentioned in the videos, some of my videos, it's unfortunate that they didn't have a chance to live a normal childhood or to experience things that normal kids experience and define normal today, really. Now people today kind of give you the stink eye if you're like, I'm normal. Because, bitch, ain't nobody normal. What's your definition of normal? But everybody's been through something. And if you're a man, you damn well know you've all been through something. I don't give a fuck who you are. But not all women are the same. We're all gonna be a bitch once in a while. You can't change that. That's in our DNA. Y'all are an asshole all the time. That ain't no different. You can't change that. It's in your DNA. Testosterone and estrogen. We can't change those things about us. We can try and control it. We can try and limit it until it's less than. But it's in our creation. My message to you, don't go buy a fucking handbook to pick up girls. It comes from in here. And in here. Look at them. When you look at them, what do you see? What's the first thing you notice? And please, for the love of Jesus, don't say their tits ass. Or their pussy. Oh, their curve goes real nice. What? Bitch, that don't matter. What is the first thing you see about the person? If all you can see is what I said, you have no business being in a relationship. Go get a fucking blow-up doll. Or use your hand. Because you have no respect for nothing but your hand at that point. And I don't even think you have respect for your hand. But anyways, show a little respect to get a little respect. Show a little decency to get a little decency. Be a fucking good person. And thank you for tuning in. Until next time, hey bitch, hey. Get her done. Then I do that.